So they just stopped my client from boarding her flight with a legal immigration visa in her hand. Trump's executive order says that her immigration visa was not in the national interest.
If you in the United States, you can't leave the United States.
The government will tax immigrants who are sending money to their families back home. The bill has a provision that 1% tax on money sent by non-US citizens, including green card holders.
If you're African, you may soon be banned from coming to the U.S. The Trump administration is considering travel restrictions on 22 African nations.
We are blocking all illegal immigrants who come into America, work, and want to send money back to their families in the countries that they fled from.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world that you're watching me live from. My name is Isaac Wabomba and this is Africanization Data, where I always keep you updated when it comes to matters that concern Africa. And now, in this case today, I want us to talk about the ban that is happening in the United States. That's between the immigrants. We have the permanent immigrants in the US. This categorically, these are the people who won green cards and they traveled from their respective countries, be it Kenya, be it Ghana, be it Nigeria, be it whichever part of the continent that they are coming from. And there's another restriction, another ban from also the permanent citizens. So that is for the country or for the US, who also had gone outside on vacation and they can no longer travel back to their country. Now, let's watch this clip.
Breaking news. Trump just banned all permanent residents from leaving the U.S. If you are abroad now, you can't come back. This isn't just about illegal immigration anymore. Trump's new executive order affects everyone. Green card holders are stuck in the U.S. Legal residents are locked out. Your family vacation becomes illegal. The New York Times leaked the White House draft. 45 countries are now on Trump's red list, implementing extreme entry restrictions on their citizens. Even if they have valid visas, even if they have lived here for decades, 8.7 million permanent residents, suddenly unable to visit dying parents overseas, can't attend their weddings abroad. Trump claims this is to protect American jobs, but economists say it's economic suicide. Tech companies lose foreign talent. Hospitals lose specialists. Universities lose top researchers. The real question that bothers everyone, is this about security or is it killing the American dream?
So they just stopped my client from boarding her flight with a legal immigration visa in her hand. Trump's executive order says that her immigration visa was not in the national interest. Trump is literally trying to cancel legal immigration cases that he doesn't like or agree with. We are taking action. Follow me for a big announcement that every immigrant in America needs to hear.
Hey, y'all. So did y'all hear that Trump said that he done just banned everybody in the United States to leave the United States? So basically, this is what I heard, y'all. If you in the United States, you can't leave the United States. And if you out the United States, outside, you can't come in. So if you on vacation, you gonna stay on vacation. You can't come back. And if you wanted to go on vacation outside the United States, you ain't going. So what about the kids? What about the students in college abroad? What about the people that went to work for business? They can't come back. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I heard it. It's a video out there. Have y'all heard this? Because this could be a problem.
If you're African, you may soon be banned from coming to the US. The Trump administration is considering travel restrictions on 22 African nations.
The Trump administration is reportedly considering another travel ban, floating restrictions on 43 countries and an all-out ban on 11 more.
This is how it breaks down. Somalia, Sudan, and Libya, total travel ban for everyone. Sierra Leone, South Sudan, and Eritrea, severe visa restrictions. And 17 other African countries will have 60 days to address concerns, or they could also face the same fate. Those countries are Angola, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cabo Verde, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Brazzaville, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa, Equatorial Guinea, Gambia, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Sao Tome and Principe, and Zimbabwe. This is still a draft list, so it could change.
So number one, when someone travels from their particular country, from their respective country, traveling to the United States in one way or the other, they are going there to look for green pastures. They have left their countries because there is something that is lacking in their country. That's why they are going there to look for green pastures for them to be able to feed their families. But now in this case, there is a ban on international money transfer, and if you do not have all the required immigrant documentation, you don't qualify to send out money to your people. And the reason as to why the President Donald Trump came up with this is according to the report, it shows that a lot of immigrants are sending a lot of money. That is 150 billion USD has been sent from the United States to these other countries. And now Donald Trump wants this money to be invested in the United States. Now, and you see, out of these 150 billion, half of it is being sent to a country called Kenya. So now, what does it tell you? It simply tells you that most Kenyans are coming to the US to look for green pastures. And now, right now, by the bill that is being, or rather has been actioned by Donald Trump, it simply tells you these Kenyans have more restrictions. And if you have the documents for sending out these the funds, there will be a tax. That is a 5% deduction. And in 2026, there's another 1% of it on every remittance that will be done across the border of the United States. Let's watch this clip first before we proceed.
I am here today to say to Canadians to avoid travel to the United States if at all possible, and to call our government to stand up for our Canadian citizens who are being denied their rights by arbitrary detention in the United States today. Canada must stand up for our citizens and for the rule of law.
Trump's big beautiful bill has one provision that no one's talking about. That one provision is the first time in history the government will tax immigrants who are sending money to their families back home. The bill has a provision that 1% tax on money sent in non-US citizens, including green card holders. That means if you're an H-1B visa holder, H-2B, F-1 visa, and any other non-immigrant visa will be taxed. US citizens are exempt, but they have to provide proof of citizenship when sending money abroad through a bank or Western Union. This is going to be implemented in 2026. This will be collected by banks and all service providers. There's no limit on the amount being transferred. This 1% tax is in addition to the taxes you pay when you send money overseas, which will reduce the amount of money immigrants can send abroad. This will have a significant economical impact on developing countries. They say they're doing this to prevent illegal immigration. We know it's to prevent economic.
My question is, if you will not be able to send out the money to your people be it in Africa, be it in Australia, be it in Asia, whichever part of the world that you like to send. Then what is the function? What is the main reason for you traveling to the United States if you cannot feed your people? And now, as we can look, like I can give an example of the country, like the state, that is the state of California. That's where most let me say the blacks work on those farms when it comes to agricultural produce. There are some jobs that the white people cannot do. And so at the end of the day, it has just to be done by, there's a condition the whites can't withstand. They can't withstand a lot of sunshine. There's those who cannot withstand being in the cold for long, But how Africans are created, there are some conditions they can withstand. So, and there's some kind of job, most of the whites, they use the machines to carry out most of these duties. But there are some jobs which cannot be done perfectly by the machines. They need the whites. And now, by this ban, it means most of the people who had left that state and they traveled back to their country. So you find that there is the workmanship now has reduced. Like, jobs are there, but there are no people to do those jobs. And by this, I don't know how America is going to look like in the next few years, because now, agriculture is the backbone of each and every country. But now, since this whatever is happening, I don't know what Donald Trump is thinking at the moment by doing or taking the action that he is taking, but time will tell. Let's watch this video once again.
Trump just made America's biggest mistake. They drove the workers away. Now the whole country is falling apart. Latest news from the White House. Massive evictions backfired. California farmers watched $2 billion worth of crops rot in the fields. 4,000 farm workers disappeared overnight. Grocery prices up 40% in 2 weeks, and it's only going to get worse. Construction sites in Texas look like ghost towns, half-finished hospitals, schools, bridges, just abandoned there. Contractors say we lost 80% of our workforce in one raid. Seniors in Florida are suffering the most. Nursing homes can't find people to work 30% to 50% staff shortages everywhere. One nursing home has closed forever. These undocumented workers aren't taking jobs. They're doing jobs that no one else wants to do. The streets of LA are now littered with trash restaurants close at 6 p.m. No dishwashers, no cooks, no cleaners. America wants them gone, but forgets who keeps us alive. Is this enforcement, or will the country destroy itself? The real question is, who will clean up the mess after we clean them up?
Donald Trump has decided to block the travel ban. If you are an immigrant and you are in US, you want the green card, and now you are in the US, you are now restricted. You can no longer travel outside. You cannot travel to your country. You remain in United States. And now, if you're a permanent resident in the US and you had gone like in Ghana, in Zambia, or in Australia or in Asia for a vacation, you cannot travel back to the US. Why? Donald Trump says it seems like America now has gathered a lot of enemies. So now, and he believes that out of this enemy, there is somebody who is somewhere trying to plan an attack on the US. That's why, for security of his people, that is the Americans, he has decided to bring this bill forward, or rather to sign this bill, so that those who are within the boundaries, they're able to be protected within the boundary, and those who are outside, you will stay outside, because they do not, he's not sure of what you may come in with. I don't know what's your reaction on this, but That's the bold step that Donald Trump has taken. Let's watch this clip also.
Do you know that no longer can illegal immigrants come into America and send money back to their country of origin? Under the Remittance Acts, we are blocking all illegal immigrants who come into America, work, and want to send money back to their families in the countries that they fled from. President Trump says no longer are we going to continue to allow this to happen here in America. Over $150 billion annually leaves our country, and he says this has to end. 42 million immigrants send money to over 800 million family members globally. No longer can illegal immigrants go into a Western Union, get a MoneyGram, and send money out of our country. People come here to work, then they send the money back to their families. If a bank continues to do this, they can be charged $10,000 per transaction, and they're at risk of losing their license. So anyone who wants to send money out of America, they have to have a U.S. ID or a Social Security number. People send money to Honduras, Mexico, El Salvador, Africa, Vietnam, you name it, money is going out of our country. And President Trump said, if you make money here in America, that money needs to stay in America. Let me know your thoughts on that one.
In addition to the countries that were banned the other time, recently also Donald Trump has banned some more. Like in Africa, he has banned 25 more countries. Like in total, he has banned 36 countries, but out of that, 25 are African countries. And just to mention one of them among the countries that has been banned, that is Burkina Faso, that is being led by Ibrahim Traore. And you all know the story about what Ibrahim Traore is doing in West Africa. You all know that. So now, Burkina Faso, that is what is happening. Donald Trump has banned them, and you know what? Ibrahim Traore is laughing so loud at Donald Trump by the action that he has just done. Like to him, it does not. It's nothing. It's nothing because he's already processing everything needed. Everything that is required, everything, any necessity that is needed by the Burkina Faso people. That's why he told them there's no need of traveling to the US. So for him, perhaps can we say that Burkina Faso, led by Captain Ibrahim Traore, they were prophets. They saw the future. That's why he decided to do whatever he is doing now. But on the other side, if we look at this story, I will say that it's simply what President Donald Trump is doing is simply telling Africans that you are no longer needed in the United States of America. You are no longer needed there. So that is a fact. Yeah. As much as you want to pretend, the president is just doing that for the purpose of the security in his countries. No, they are more behind the curtain towards this decision. I don't know, but as I've always told you that time will always tell you. I don't know, but is there something that Donald Trump is not telling, is not coming out clear? Is there something that Donald Trump is not telling the public like openly? So that's why he's trying to act strangely? Time will tell. But for a fact, I can tell you, the black, you have to start fighting for your own rights. You have I know you have a thick skin already, but there is more that is coming. So, I don't know, but one thing I know, I will tell you point blank, you're no longer needed in the US. So, in other words, I'm telling you, start uniting, start forming strategies, start forming policies that will facilitate your growth, that will facilitate your unity. Otherwise, if we continue being blind, then there is more suffering, more suffering that is coming your way. That one, take it to the bank, be it any bank that you know is best for you, that you know it is the best, that you trust. Take that information to that bank, because if Donald Trump has already introduced those taxes on remittances, he has banned the countries. He is now looking out the immigrants and even the permanent citizens. There is something that is trying to communicate to you, which with the time you will come watch this video and you'll say, this guy was a prophet, was also the future. But that is it. The Sahel state, they're already, like, they don't care. For them, when the United States tries to do something, they retaliate. They reciprocate the same. If you ban us from coming to your country, we also ban your people. If you tell our people to leave your country, we also tell your people to leave our country. Tit for tat, a fair one. African, you have more than resources for you to be dependable on yourself. But since you have always believed that Africa is a country that needs donation always, that's where you are today. That's why you're taken for granted. That's why people like the West always identify you as the darkest continent. Until when? Style up. Yeah, style up. All right. I don't want to speak more than that today, but that's what I've told you. And if you have more reactions, you have more information, more than I have captured here, please feel free to put it in the comment section, because it's open just for you to talk, for you to comment, for you to react, for you to retaliate as well as we march forward. My name is Isaac Pabomba, and this is Africanization Data, where I always ensure that you are well updated when it comes to matter that concern African and the blacks in general. Let's meet in the comment section. Until next time, bye-bye for now.